Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. It's great to be back with you. I hope you are doing well. I'm an industry engineer who provides commentary at the intersection of artificial intelligence, engineering, and economics. You can listen to and watch me on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. You can also listen to and watch me on Rumble and YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe because it does feed the AI algorithm. And lastly, please post your comments and questions below. It'd be wonderful to hear from you. And let's jump right into it. I have a couple articles for you today. And this is from CNBC. Title of the article is McDonald's to End AI Drive-Thru Test with IBM. And this was published on June 17th by Kate Rogers, so just a few days old. I know this was seen different articles on this topic on the X platform, which is how I ran across it. Key points of the article: McDonald's is ending a test run of AI drive-thru with IBM in more than 100 restaurants. Point 2, the technology will be shut off no later than July 26. And as we'll get to later, I'll be reading the joint statement from both McDonald's and IBM. This test ran just short of 3 years. And the last point, or third point, is McDonald's told CNBC there's a place for AI in its drive-thrus in the future, right? And as we'll see later in the article, McDonald's isn't giving up on AI. It is just transitioning to a new partner. And we'll talk about that later. I'm going to grab some coffee. And so, and just another thing before we get started, with these relationships between these large companies, there is an objective. Well, let me start it off this way. McDonald's will hire IBM in order to solve pain points, or to help optimize their business in some way. And the three key factors to a business is obviously profits. Business has to make a profit, but then that profit is dependent on revenue and costs. And the business model is going to affect that. And within the restaurant industry, which is a part of the hospitality industry, I've done previous videos on AI and restaurants, but this is the first with respect to McDonald's. We've talked about how AI could possibly be implemented into the restaurant industry, but it wasn't. McDonald's isn't going, or excuse me, let me take a step back here. AI isn't necessarily going to be implemented into all restaurants, because even within the restaurant industry, there are different business models, right? The business model, and I've used this example before, the taco truck is not going to be the same business model as, let's say, McDonald's. And matter of fact, it's going to be a different customer base, right? So it depends on the target market. And so let's get to the article here. There's the menu. Article begins, McDonald's is changing course on its artificial intelligence plans, right? As I said, they tried this out for 3 years, for a little less than 3 years, and now they're going to be moving in a different direction. The fast food giant will end a test run of its AI drive-thru technology partnership with IBM in more than 100 restaurants. The so-called automated order taker, the AOT, for later on in the article, when they're talking about AOT, that's what they mean, automated order taker, will be shut off no later than July 26. according to a memo sent to franchisees late last week, obtained by CNBC. And I will get into franchisees a little bit as well. So I have a point about that. A point I made in a previous video. The article continues here. The global AI partnership began in 2021. The combination of technologies from the two companies aim to simplify and speed up operations with voice activated order. Right. And so that was a pain point for McDonald's. And the possible solution was implementing IBM's AI. Right. And so obviously, because the relationship is discontinuing, IBM was not able to address that pain point, or at least their solution was not able to address the pain point according to McDonald's numbers, their data. Article continues here with a quote. While there have been successes to date, we feel there is an opportunity to explore voice ordering solutions more broadly, said the franchisee memo from Mason Smoot, Senior Vice President and Chief Restaurant Officer for McDonald's US. Right. And that just means that just means IBM's technology didn't work. Not based off of the McDonald's expectations. Right. And they'll get into a little bit of data here in a bit for what their expectation was. Article continues here with a quote. After thoughtful review, McDonald's has decided to end our current partnership with IBM on AOT. IBM remains a trusted partner and will continue to utilize many of their other products across our system. Right. Well, we'll see what happens, because McDonald's is moving to a new solution, as we'll find out here. Article continues here. Two sources familiar with the technology told CNBC that among its challenges, it had issues interpreting different accents and dialects, which affected order accuracy. Right. Now that was another pain point. I'm sure we can all we've all had issues going through a drive-through before. Grab some coffee. I know I have. I can't even understand. I think before in the past when I haven't gone through McDonald's in probably a month. And I might eat there probably once a month I go there. But I can tell you, when I go through the drive-through and the first they're nice. They're really nice in the town I live in. But the first thing they say I never understand the first thing they say to me. I don't understand it. I think it's a deal that it's some sort of daily special or something. I'm not quite sure, because I don't understand what they're saying. And it's not necessarily because it's a foreign accent. It's an American accent related to the state that I live in. I just don't understand it. And it makes me wonder sometimes if they understand what I'm saying. And that's between two people who are using their intercom system. And so now we throw AI into the bunch. And then the question is would AI be better at taking my order? Or would I be able to understand AI? I don't know if I'm guessing maybe there's a voice system as well. Would I be able to understand AI's voice better than the intercom system? Maybe a part of the solution is just cleaning up the intercom system, getting a better intercom system. And that would be a different solution than the AI, but would also work in conjunction with AI or with just people in general. But that's a pain point. They have to be able to, and it's also a challenge. You have to be able to interpret different accents and dialects. And of course, here in the United States, if you travel around the United States, there are different dialects or different accents. And some of them aren't always easy to understand. I know I've been to Louisiana, where they speak a type of pidgin, and I have no idea what they're talking about. I have no clue. I don't understand. and it's some sort of cross between English, French, and something else. It's the strangest thing, but for them, that's what they speak, and the McDonald's in that particular area is going to have to be able to understand that. And so this is this doesn't show. Well, it shows IBM's solution in the case of McDonald's is not. It probably works, but what the percentage of time, how often does it work? But it also shows the challenge that the technology faces because the the breadth of accents and dialects, even with accents with even in one country, is it's so broad. It's quite a challenge. Well, let's continue here with the article. McDonald's declined to comment on accuracy or technology challenges, while IBM did not immediately respond to requests to comment on the tool's accuracy. Right. They're good former partners. IBM doesn't want to say that their technology doesn't work. Excuse me. And it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means that it doesn't work based off of McDonald's expectations. And McDonald's doesn't want to be a bad customer and say, well, your technology is just trash. It doesn't work at all. No, it doesn't meet their expectations. If it works 80% of the time, that's really good. But that might not meet McDonald's expectations because they have costs. They're implementing the AI technology so they can decrease their costs, maintain their revenues, or increase their revenues. Right? Ideally, the technology would also, if the technology works really well, that would theoretically increase your revenues while decreasing your costs, and of course, that would increase your profits, and then you'd be able to build more capital and do more things as a business. And AI, when analyzing AI, should always come back to um, it should always include some sort of economic business principles, because at the end of the day, in a market-based system, that's what's going to decide if the technology is worthwhile or not, or if there's still a lot to improve. All right, let's continue here with the article. The decision comes as restaurants from Del Taco to Wingstop to Panera and more have been testing out various ways to use AI from front to back of house as a way to streamline operations. Right. And if you notice, when we go through this article, there's going to be a few points where they're really going to be talking about streamlining operations. Right? Streamline operations. When you have a business, you want to streamline operations because when you streamline an operation, that allows you to be able to go do something else. You want to systemize it, streamline it, and then that provides you time to go do something else. Right? I use an example in a previous video of washing clothes. My washer, it's superior to me, but it also streamlines the process for me. So that way I don't have to think about it. I just throw my clothes in, um, throw in the detergent or the pod, and I turn on the machine and I leave for 45 minutes or an hour and I go do something else. Right? That streamlines it for me. Rather than if I had to do it myself, it would take me all day. It would just be inefficient, be completely inefficient. So streamlining operations optimizes systems and makes it more efficient. And another thing about this is, in a previous episode, I talked about how AI was going to be implemented in different parts of the business, right? So in the case of McDonald's, you had the front part of it, which is the communication side, which is you're actually getting the order. The back side of it, or the back end, is where they make the meals, right? How does AI communicate with them, right? If you're making sandwiches, if you've ever worked in a fast food restaurant before, which I have, uh, there's a part where there's a station where you make sandwiches. There's a station where you're cooking the patties. There's a station where you're making the fries, right? It's Adam Smith's division of labor, right? There's a There's a station where you're up at the front taking orders. Of course, you have somebody cleaning, and of course, you have your manager who's managing all that. I might be leaving something out, but anyways, how do you optimize that? So there's multiple things going on here. There's AI. Uh, well, there's multiple things going on if you implement AI. AI communicating with the customer in the front, via the drive-through. AI communicating with the employees in the back and making the foods and relaying that information from the customer to the employees so that they get the right order. But let's continue here with the article. Chipotle and Yum Brands have also been leaders in both robotics and AI investment in recent years. Uh, Article continues here. In a statement, McDonald's told CNBC it is not ruling out potential AI drive-through plans in the future, even though it ended the IBM partnership. Right. Just because they end, you'll probably see comments like this on X and other places. Oh, McDonald's uh, McDonald's ended its relationship with IBM, therefore AI is not going to work, right? Or AI doesn't work, or something like that. No, in this case, AI didn't meet expectations. The IBM AI didn't meet expectations. But as you'll see later in the article, McDonald's is moving to another partner, but they're going to try it a different way. They're going to see if the new technology can meet their pain points. Again, their pain points are, simplify and speed up operations with voice activated ordering, as I said earlier in the article, improve and optimize order accuracy. Right, those are the two pain points we've seen so far in this article. And so we'll continue here with the article. Article quotes, as we move forward, our work with IBM has given us the confidence that a voice ordering solution for drive-through will be part of our restaurant's future. Right? They're still planning on doing that. They're still going to move forward with that. The company said in a statement. Another quote here, we see tremendous opportunity in advancing our restaurant technology and will continue to evaluate long-term scalable solutions that will help us make informed decisions on our future voice ordering solution by the end of the year. Right. So they're still looking to take advantage of it. They're still looking to use it, and they want to scale it. They didn't feel that IBM was met those expectations of what McDonald's wanted to do. And that's fine. It doesn't always work out. Maybe the technology wasn't a good fit for McDonald's for those particular solutions, right? Every companies that have AI aren't going to have exactly the same solution. With the product comes different designs, different ways of how it does things. Just because this company has AI and this company has AI doesn't mean the AIs are the same. The AIs were built differently, and how the AI performs to meet the pain point is how the team that developed the technology, how did they build it, right? So there's a lot of things going on at each level that affect how the AIs perform out in the marketplace. See here, article quotes, as we move forward, our work with IBM has given us confidence that a voice ordering solution for drive-through will be part of our restaurant's future. Okay, I already think I read this. Yeah, I already read this part. I do that sometimes. So here, article says in a statement, should say in a statement, spell check CNBC. IBM said it will work with McDonald's on a variety of other projects as the test ends. My question would be, what projects are those? What project are those? For the quote here, another quote here, IBM also is now in discussions and pilots with several quick serve restaurant clients who are interested in the AOT technology, the company said in a statement. Right. Again, just because the technology doesn't work in McDonald's ecosystem doesn't mean it's not going to work in other restaurant ecosystems. It sometimes the technology is not a good match. I think about the technologies you use that are similar to each other, but one didn't work for you and the other one didn't. Right? These technologies have different features. They're addressing different pain points. And some pain points are more important than other pain points. I do have a specific example, but I actually can't share it with you. Um, but yeah, take my word for it if you want. Let's see here. Article continues. McDonald's sold its McD Labs technology, formerly known as Apprenti, to IBM in 2021. Maybe that's a part of the continued relationship. It also sold dynamic yield, a predictive ordering technology, to MasterCard in late 2021 after a splashy acquisition in 2019 as part of its modernization plans for restaurants. The McDonald's is like all the other companies in the market, restaurant-based companies, non-restaurant-based companies, trying to figure out how to utilize all these new technologies in order to optimize their systems, streamline their operations, increase their revenues, decrease their costs, and therefore increase their profits. So that way they can continue to employ, employ employees or pay their employees, possibly more money. Some companies do that. Uh, and so, the question is, what's the good fit? What are the features of the product that fit into your business model? That's the question. There's going to be, as McDonald's is illustrating here, there's going to be a little bit of testing going on. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot for a few years, see what happens. Oh, it's not working. It's costing us too much money. All right, we're going to end the relationship. We're going to move on to something else. Matter of fact, I get into that here in the next sentence. While McDonald's AI plans for the future are unclear, all eyes will be on Alphabet's Google. At its Investors Day in December, McDonald's announced a new partnership with Google Cloud, but neither company has offered details on what it will entail. Right. Uh, Article quotes here. We're excited to see how McDonald's will use our generative AI cloud and edge computing tools to improve their iconic dining experience for their employees and their customers all over the world. Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai said in a statement at the time. Right. Um, they're moving to a different tech stack, right? A different group of technologies. The previous technology with IBM used generative AI. Now they're moving to Google's generative AI to see if that will address the pain point. They using the cloud. I don't know here if they were, maybe did they say if they were using IBM's cloud? I don't think that. But here they'll be able to, McDonald's will be able to move their data to the cloud. If they have servers, well, that's going to save them a lot of money because cloud computing is a lot cheaper than maintaining servers. An example of this is Netflix. Netflix is a very large company, obviously needs a lot of space for data because of their movies and their customers. They don't have servers. They do everything on AWS. They use cloud computing, and it saves them a lot of money. McDonald's can take advantage of Google, because Google already has, a very substantial system set up for collecting data and processing data, and so McDonald's will be able to take advantage of that. And how will that be implemented to improve the client's experience or the customer's experience? Who knows? We'll see over the next couple of years. Hold on, excuse me for a second. Article continues here in a note this spring. BTIG analyst Peter Saleh wrote that franchisees had not seen much progress on the automated order taker in the drive-through, expressing quote here, expressing frustration that updates were infrequent and the demonstration at the worldwide convention was underwhelming, as all of the orders witnessed there were incorrect. Right. I spoke about in a previous episode, and I'll post the on Rumble and YouTube. I will post those previous restaurant articles below, so you have access to those and the things I discussed in them on X. I'm still figuring that out, how I can centralize all of my previous videos, and so I'm still working through that. I'm also working through moving my videos over to X. So for those who are on X and prefer X, you have access to that. And for those of you who are on YouTube, you have access to that, and Rumble as well. But to the point of franchisee I spoke about in a previous episode, that AI would probably be AI would find its footing in the restaurant industry through franchisees before non-franchisees restaurants. And the reason why that is because franchisee restaurants, well, first off, franchisee restaurants have an 80% success rate versus non-franchisee restaurants have an 80% failure rate. It's not exactly those numbers, but those numbers are easy to remember, but it's about that. Franchisees are successful because they already have systems in place. It's like a plug and chug type of deal where McDonald's has already figured everything out. So if you become a franchisee at McDonald's, they just give you a template and say, here you go. Just run with this business model and you'll do well. And if you run with that business model, you'll do well the vast majority of the time. Because those systems are already in place, McDonald's can do a lot of the heavy lifting in regards to implementing AI more immediately. Plus, and that means McDonald's will be throwing in a lot of the they'll be utilizing a lot of their capital to make sure that implementation of AI works in their business model. Then the franchisee, then what they'll do is they'll pass that along to the franchisee, and the franchisee will just implement it. Right. If you are just a single Mexican, let's say a Mexican restaurant, I always go back to tacos. I like tacos. But if you go back, and if you're a Mexican restaurant, well, you don't have that type of capital. You are probably just above water, right? You are what's called a high risk. You're a high risk business model, and so it's going to be much. You're not going to be able to have. You don't have the resources to experiment with AI like a franchisee does. If you're a franchisee, another thing that's probably going on is if you're a franchisee with McDonald's will pay for you to test out AI. That won't come out of your pocket, your business pocket. That'll come out of McDonald's because McDonald's has an incentive for it to work. Right? They want their franchisees to work. They want their franchisees to succeed because that's how they make money from that. Right? They're going to get a franchisee bill, right, or percentage, and so yeah, my thought in that video, my suspicion in that video was that you'll see AI in franchisees restaurants before you see them in non-franchisees restaurants as a percentage. You'll see them in non-franchisees restaurants, but they'll be much more common in franchisees restaurants. Anyway, we'll continue here with the article. Article quotes here, we are still hearing that accuracy remains in the low to mid 80% range and operating costs are high, while a wider test of the technology had not yet taken place. Right. And that the accuracy would probably decrease as the technology scales. That would be my suspicion. And so that looks like that's too low for McDonald's. They want a higher accuracy rate. And again, that's another pain point Right, that's another pain point too. Previous pain points we discussed was McDonald's wants to simplify and speed up the operations with voice activated ordering, and they also want to improve and optimize order accuracy. And they want that order accuracy to be at a certain percentage. Saleh added there was speculation about Google's major presence at April's McDonald's Worldwide Convention held in Barcelona, leading some to believe Google could replace IBM as the company's AI vendor. And that looks like that's what's happening. Article quotes here: accuracy is the most important thing right now. Right. It's a pain point. Saleh told CNBC on Monday it will have to be at least 95% accurate. Yep. And we'll have to save franchisees money over having a person in a drive-through, and the way it is designed now does neither. Right. It's not 90. It's going to be right. So at least 95% accurate, which means it has to be 95% more, and that's over time, right? Because that value is going to be variable over time. In other words, it'll be 95% is the lowest it'd be on one day, and another day it'd be 100%, another day it'd be 97%, another day 98, another day 96, right? It kind of bounce back and forth. But as long as it never goes below that 95% threshold. Because McDonald's, again, they're trying to reduce costs. They're going to take their employees and move them someplace else, or give them different responsibilities. Their employees' responsibilities will change, and that'll optimize their business. Let's see here. Article continues here. Google did not immediately respond to CNBC's request for comment about what its partnership with McDonald's could entail. McDonald's declined to comment. And that's it. I'm going to move over here to, got a joint statement from IBM and McDonald's. So they're both the same. IBM and McDonald's have the same statement. So here we go. This is from October 27th. So today would be, so July 27th. Is that when they said it would end? Relationship would end. So that's a little less than 3 or 4. I guess a little. It's actually over 4 years. So a little 4 years. All right. So anyway, that was off. Apparently, I can't count. That's not unusual. All right. So here this is joint statement from McDonald's and IBM. Again, if you look at the joint statement for McDonald's and if you look at the joint statement for IBM, it's going to say the same thing. So statement starts today. IBM, a leader in AI for business and AI powered customer care, entered into an agreement with McDonald's, the world's largest restaurant company, to further accelerate the development and deployment of its automated order taking technology. Right. That's right. And clearly that did not happen. Statement continues here. Under the agreement, IBM will acquire McD Tech Labs. The article talked about that, which was created to advance employee and customer facing innovations following McDonald's 2019 acquisition of Apprente. As part of McDonald's strategic growth plan, accelerating the arches. I don't believe the article said that. The company is committed to innovation across digital, delivery, and drive-through. Right. So well, we'll get to it. I was going to get, this is the objective, but that's the highlight, right? They're just saying that they're committed to these three things. These are three things they're going to focus on: is digital, delivery, and drive-through. But they have the object. They're going to talk about the objective here in a second, and it's going to illustrate why the companies are separating or discontinuing their relationship. Let's see here. Okay, so McDonald's development. So statement continues here. McDonald's development, testing of AOT in restaurants has shown substantial benefits to customers and the restaurant crew experience. Moving forward, IBM's expertise in building customer care solutions with AI and natural language processing will help scale the AOT technology across markets and tackle integrations, including additional languages, dialects, and menu variations. Right. And so IBM was not able to address or was not able to achieve uh, those data points. And instead, what probably happened is IBM cost McDonald's money. If you're getting the order wrong, you have to pull um, resources from another place in order to correct that order. And if that happens, too much, then that's just costing the company too money, and they're going to stop using your technology or your solution. So, bottom line is the objective was to use AI and natural language processing to scale IBM's tech across the markets and address, right? It said address the languages, dialects, and many variations. It was supposed to do those things, and at a 95% or more or greater rate, and it didn't do that. I'm gonna grab some coffee. Let's continue here with the statement. The acquisition of McD Tech Labs will complement IBM's existing work to deliver AI-driven customer care solutions with IBM Watson. Businesses across industries from financial services and healthcare to telecommunications and retail are using Watson to drive business outcomes. Right. And again, this doesn't mean Watson doesn't work. Watson's probably working in other ecosystems. Let's say it's working in financial services, it's working in healthcare, telecommunications. But clearly, it's not going to be working in McDonald's ecosystem anymore. Right? It doesn't. It's not a good fit. Their AI solution is not a good fit for McDonald's, and that's fine. That this, the relationship doesn't always work. Let's continue here with the statement. AOT will continue to be integrated into McDonald's highly secure technology ecosystem. Right now, it has to be, how it has to be taken out of McDonald's ecosystem. That's going to cost it a little bit of money. All IBM business engagements are bound by the ethical, responsible advancement of technology. Right. So now they're getting into responsibility and ethics of principles of AI. And you could read the rest. I'll post this below for your use. And so I'm going to jump right into my final three questions. Question one, currently is order accuracy greater for employees than AOT at 80%? Well, we actually know the answer to that. We know the answer to that question derived from the article. The answer is yes. Yes, employees are still, to use the phrase, superior at taking orders, customer orders versus AI. In other words, an employee can still do it better. It has to be, in order for it to make sense for the business, the solution has to be better than the employee. If the AI is not better than the employee, then there's no reason to use it. You're just losing money at that point. All right. So if they're saying it has to be, my suspicion is, and the article didn't get into this, but if McDonald's is looking at an accuracy rate of 95%, that means that's probably where the employees are at, somewhere in that ballpark, between 90 and 95% accuracy rate. So AI has to be better than that. Maybe as good. That might work, but that's McDonald's call. Question two, how much did AOT increase operating costs? Well, we don't really know from the article because it didn't tell us, but I suspect this whole relationship did cost McDonald's some money. Right. But they had to test it out to see if it would work, because if it worked in the short run, it would cost some money, but in the long run, it would save them money. Right. It would decrease their costs, increase their revenues, and of course, increase their profits. Final question, question 3. How much time did McDonald's waste going back and correcting orders? Right, this is kind of related to question 2. So if they get an order wrong, that means the employees, if AI gets the order wrong, that means employees have to take time out of what they're doing in order to correct that order. And if that keeps, let's say that's 5 minutes, but if that happens several times a day, then you can kind of see how that could waste time, right? It also, and so that the costs increase because it wastes employee and product resources, and of course time. And that's it. I mean, that's the third article on restaurants that I've done so far. I'm probably going to do another article on McDonald's again, discussing. I have another article about how wrong some of the orders were through McDonald's, and a lot of people look at that and make fun of the technology. I don't. AI is an incredible technology, and it's still being figured out. Do I believe AGI is going to take over the world? No, I don't believe that. AI will become commonplace like all the other technologies. Like I said in previous episodes, you have multiple computers and that do different things, and you'll have multiple AIs and they do different things. AI is an incredible technology, and the question is, how can you take advantage of it, utilize it for your personal life, and in business. Let's say you're an entrepreneur, you want to utilize it. Well, how do you utilize it? How do you take advantage of it? How do you help it to streamline your operations, make your business more efficient? And that just depends on your business model. You ask the question, what is my business model? Who is my target market? And then you'll be able to start from there. Start playing around with the technology. You could use art. Let's say you're in fitness and you write articles. Well, you could use deep AI or something like that, or technology like that, where you can create thumbnails for your articles. You don't have to go out and look for um, photographs on the internet and worry about copyright issues. You could just, and by the way, deep AI is free. You could actually do a lot of really interesting things with deep AI for free. Just use their image generator. Just play around with it, see what makes sense for you, right? But you could use those as thumbnails for your articles. If you're writing articles as, let's say, a fitness trainer or a personal trainer, no matter if you're private or a industry trainer, you could also use Deep AI's chat, or you could use Grok's chat if you are. Of course, you could use OpenAI. There's a lot of them, but you could use the chats in order to get some different ideas on workouts for your clients based off of what their needs are, right? But of course, that's going to depend on who your target market is, because your workouts for, let's say, um, business owners versus workouts for athletes versus workouts for pregnant moms, right? It just depends who your customer is, and you're gonna have to spend some time with the prompt, because it does take a little bit of time getting used to the prompt and getting out of AI what you want. But you could theoretically get some new workouts, something different for them, right? You just have to plug in the information and see what you get back. So that's just this couple, probably people listening to this already used it like that. Maybe you haven't, maybe that's new. But those are just a couple quick and simple applications that you could use AI for. Um, and but yeah, it's just going to be dependent on you and what you want to do with it. Just like it's dependent on McDonald's. McDonald's, did the AI work for them? No, it didn't work for them. They tested it out and they're moving on to Google. Same thing with you. If you're using it, maybe you try deep AI. Deep AI doesn't work. Maybe Grok works better for you for conversations, or maybe Open AI works better for conversations. Just gonna have to test them. Play around with them. Might have to pay a little bit of money, but you know, try to try to well, you could certainly um, write that off if you're a small business. But yeah, we'll continue talking about these things in each article. I'll add in some stuff that maybe you could use or take advantage of towards the end of the articles, or maybe even during the articles as well. I try to mix things up a little bit, but that's all I got for today. It's been great to be back with you. It's good to be back in the saddle again. And if I can find my mouse here, I'll take us out. I will see you in the next episode.